What's up, Ragin Nation? How's it going? This is Alex Yu, and you're watching The Road to Beast Wars. This is just a web series where we're talking about the production of Transformers Rise of the Beast. This is episode number 15, and what I'm going to do in this episode is going to be interactive with you guys. And what I've done is actually I've taken 13 comments from the comment section of my previous episode, and I'm going to respond to them. And this is just my way of showing you guys that I do read the comments, and I want to be interactive with you guys. I appreciate you guys commenting as well as, liking and retweeting and sharing the videos, and I super appreciate that. So what I want to do is just take the time to look at your comments and also provide you guys with a little bit of feedback about what you've said about the previous episode, because these are comments from the previous episode. Okay, excuse me, I don't know what's going on. So much gas. Anyways, let's start off with this first comment, and that is Dennis Fury says, "New drinking game. Every time Alex says Jazz, take a shot." Okay, I get it. I say Jazz a lot. I'm saying it right now. Mirage looks like Jazz. Okay, I cannot help it. It can't be helped. Hopefully, after a couple episodes in, I will be fully corrected, and I will be saying Mirage instead of Jazz. But you don't want to play this game because you're going to be very, very drunk, okay? Here's a comment from Zenkai World. "Lol, you and this Jazz, now it's hilarious at this point. You keep confusing him for Jazz, and it's completely understandable why you get confused. The car literally looked like Jazz." Right? Right? I mean, that's Jazz right there. I mean, I don't even know why they decided to do that. I mean, what is the thought process behind deciding that they're going to go with Mirage instead of Jazz? That's why I'm still making these mistakes, because it's clearly Jazz, and if they're going for a more G1 style, then, just name it Jazz, and then, paint it white. But okay, fine, it's Mirage. I have no problem with that. I'm totally over that. I'm just going to make the mistake once in a while. Sawyer Shelton Productions says, "I don't know how these movies are still interesting after you do all this speculation. You're going to spoil all the good parts." Well, actually, it makes it more interesting. In fact, you can ask anybody here who's been following my journey since Dark to the Moon. It actually gets them more and more and more excited. And the thing is that, I don't actually read spoilers. There's sometimes people actually know about the movie, they legitimately know about what happens, because I don't know why. I mean, how? Because there's leaks or something. They actually read, they have all the details, they know how it plays out, or they read the novel release of it, or they know somebody on the inside. I don't do that, actually. I just speculate, okay? And for the most part, it's not even a 50-50 chance that I'm going to be right. It's actually a very low possibility, because I'm just going with what I see at face value, all right? Typically, what I end up seeing, or end up what's showing in the actual movie, is completely different from what I actually thought. I mean, unless it's really, really obvious, okay? If it's really obvious, then yes, obviously, then, that my prediction is correct. But, a lot of times when I do the speculation, I speculate, and, if I'm right, then okay, cool. But if I'm wrong, that's even better, because what I predicted was totally not what they ended up doing, which just means it surprised us. There's that shock value there, and it's cool. So, I don't worry about too much speculation going to spoil me, because honestly speaking, once it gets to the movie, I will have forgotten about everything I talked about. No joke. I will have forgotten about everything I've talked about, because I'm so absorbed into what I'm watching on the screen, because it's all very exciting. James Mitchell says, "Gotta admit, they are filming a lot very quickly." Okay, this is a comment where, I feel the complete opposite. I'm not saying I disagree. I'm just thinking that I feel the complete opposite, because it's already the middle of August, and what have we really seen? What have we really seen? They're filming in Montreal. They've had Mirage drive around. I haven't seen a single explosion. We saw there's one car chase sequence with Mirage. We saw Optimus Prime roll into the Parc Jean Drapeau. We didn't see Bumblebee roll out. He's there, but we didn't see Bumblebee roll out. We haven't seen RC. She's a motorcycle, a Ducati, so we didn't see her. We haven't seen Nightbird. She's a Skyline. So there's so many things we haven't seen yet, and I'm just wondering, like, they started filming in June, and so what? Like, I've only made 15 episodes, so I would typically would have had more episodes, but honestly speaking, this is, while it is on the level of a Michael Bay Transformers sequel with a $200 million budget, they're really keeping it really quiet. Because maybe they learned that, there's a lot of people out there trying to film the production, and they're getting better with, filming it like more secret locations. I don't know. But I'll tell you that I honestly haven't seen a lot. We're already in the middle of August. They're going to be filming in Peru next month. Or October, I don't know. I really don't know, but it should be next month. And then, honestly speaking, I've only really seen 2 sequences: the downtown chase with Mirage, and also the Park Jean Drapeau. So that's only two sequences. So I'm really curious what else, what has already been filmed that we don't know about. Autobot Simmer. Wonder if they changed the name to Jazz just to please fans, like how people thought the Jet in Bumblebee was Starscream and it was an outrage he wasn't. Though the solution there was killing him off quickly, of course they can't make the change of Mirage's position as a spy is important. So that's a that's a really good point, okay? That's a really good point because it's highly possible that they could change Mirage's name to Jazz at the last minute, just to throw us off. Like, that can be done. They could always find ways to try to deceive the fans, because it's just to make us a little bit more surprised, and maybe it'll be a positive surprise if they decide to change it to Jazz at the last moment, because maybe they just want to give us something to work with, but then they'll change it after maybe because the plan was always that he was going to be Jazz, or maybe they'll change it because the fans keep on talking about that it's Jazz. They would rather it be Jazz. So maybe they're going to listen to the fans later on. Who knows? But in any case, for now, he's Mirage. Joshua Alis says, what's interesting about the Hammond Pavilion and Museum being an Easter egg for the creator of Jurassic Park, John Hammond, is that recently Hasbro and Universal just partnered up to do a toy crossover with Transformers Jurassic Park franchises, and this maybe could be an upcoming partnership, being the 2 movies franchise with Maximals, Predacons, Terracons, with toy crossover between Transformers and Jurassic Park. Hey, you know what? I totally think it's an Easter egg. It's just, they decided that, you know what, this is involving fossils and dinosaurs. It's an archaeological museum, so let's just put a nod to John Hammond, the creator of Jurassic Park, and I think that's totally deliberate. I think you're absolutely correct. This is an Easter egg for Jurassic Park. BS Prime, that's actually Hound's powers, not Mirage's. In G1, Mirage only becomes invisible. So yes, you're 100% correct. I totally overlooked that. Mirage is the one who is able to become invisible. Like, he's got his cloaking and stealth abilities, but it was actually Hound that's able to create holograms with his shoulder cannon, and he just shoots it out, and then suddenly he can create an Autobot base. It's pretty crazy. But yes, you're absolutely correct. For some reason, I thought that he was able to create clones of himself as Mirage, but I was wrong about that. But maybe in this version, he can do it, because after all, we did see 4 Jazzes. Shooting Star Gamer. I think that robot is one of Scourge's victims, and actually he's referring to the blue dead robot that's lying there. I think you're right. It could entirely be a Maximal, or a Predacon, or an Autobot. Could be even a Decepticon, but in any case, Scourge killed somebody. Okay, Scourge killed a robot, and he's lying down on the ground. And I totally think that's one of Scourge's victims. It's just such a high possibility, in my opinion. I think it's a really high possibility to make him more scary. Next, we got VXC Films. Maybe the cop cars were chasing one of Mirage's clones and crashed. Hey, that's an interesting point, because we do see flipped police cars on the side, and this is of course because it's involved in a car chase, and they're actually chasing. Possibly, they're chasing one of Mirage's clones, not the actual Mirage. And, after they realize that it's a Mirage, like an actual Mirage, and they're chasing a clone, then they crash. So, it could be, right? tracks. Due to all the evidence gathered, I'm thinking it certainly will be Mirage. And by that he means that I think he means that the blue Autobot or the blue, the blue screen over that robot, shape, the dead robot. He thinks it's Mirage. I'm gonna disagree with that. I don't think it's gonna be Mirage. That like blue representation of a robot, I think it's too big to be Mirage. Mirage is a very small car, a Porsche 935, and that is a very small car when it transforms. Oh, even with a little bit of mass shifting, I still think that even the Pontiac Solstice of jazz had more meat, had more mass than the Porsche 935 that Mirage is. So I don't think that's Mirage at all. Actually, it could be someone else. Mikel Herrera Gutierrez says, I feel like that it will be a Maximal that dies and his death might push Optimus Primal and the other Maximals to join up with the Autobots. That's highly plausible as well. I think that's a really good theory. Yeah, it could be a Maximal. I don't think it's going to be Mirage, but it could be a Maximal. And you know how Optimus Prime is, like, he appreciates all life, right? He feels that all life forms have rights. And, basically he's fighting for all life forms. And so I think that this could be, it's highly, I don't know if it could be, and I won't say that I'm going to predict that it could be the catalyst that makes Optimus Primal join the Optimus Prime, but I will say that this is something that it could totally work. Like, I like that theory, and it's highly possible. Abel Star says, in my opinion, if we were going to guess this, I think it's Mirage who dies. Him being anti-authority already raises red flags for me, but if size matters of that blue bot with on-screen model, it could be Maximal maybe. Gotta show that Terracon power. So by Terracon, if you mean that Scourge, then yes, I think that you gotta have an Autobot or Maximal death. You gotta have a good guy robot death, and that is really to show the sheer power and that these bad guys, these Terracons, they mean business. They're really evil. They're out killing Maximals and Autobots. So I think it's highly possible that that was the result of a Terracon fight. Finally, this last question or last comment. I'm betting the blue bot stand-in is Mirage and gets minimum screen time like Canopy, Blitzwing, and that Decepticon from the second movie, Sideways. They are letting us get too much info on him and gave him different alt just like Blitzwing. He's a goner. Lol. I don't think it's Mirage, like I said before, but it could be a character that, like, going through what you suggested, and that is, you introduce the character, and then they get a little bit of screen time, and then he dies. And, I think that's a really cheap thing to do, just to introduce someone and then kill him off. I would like it if they actually introduce the character, have them do things, tasks that contribute to the mission, and then kill him off in the middle. But I don't think it's going to be like Canopy or Blitzwing where to kill him off, early in the film. I'm okay with Blitzwing dying. You got to have a Decepticon death, especially in a really cool fight like that between Bumblebee and Blitzwing. Someone's got to go. All right, I get it, but I wouldn't mind if they actually put some more put some more thought into a good robot death and make it worth it, as opposed to just establishing dominance of the Terracons right at the beginning of the movie. We've seen that type of thing before, right? So I really hope that it's a character that we end up caring about that ends up dying. I know that sounds really, really terrible, but it just makes the death of a robot be like an event that actually that causes more things to happen, such as the Optimus Prime and the Autobots working together with Optimus Primal and the Maximals. So I think that the death is the result of them working together is a big result as a result of this death. So that could totally work. Anyways, that's all I gotta say in this episode, and I don't know if I'm gonna do more of these. I guess I'm gonna be doing more of these comment videos, and it's I really enjoy responding to your comments. So I guess I'll do more of these later on. I'm not sure which episode. I don't intend to do them for every episode, but I thought that I do like some of the comments that you guys put in, and I really wanted to respond to them, and that's why we have this video. So I really appreciate all of you guys, so make sure you comment on these videos, okay? Anyways, my name is Alexi. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next episode because we're going to talk about the first look at Scourge. Okay, that's going to be really exciting. I'll see you next time. Peace.